I do not own the rights to this music. Welcome to Tax Talk Tuesday. Come on in and join me live. Let's talk about it. We're going to talk about our business owners, of course. Um, Finding that a lot of business owners do not understand some of the basics of accounting and taxes and tax and accounting information. So, hey, just want to share a little bit of information with you as usual. We will not be on here long, just so that we can get some information over to you guys and and if you got any questions, of course, get your questions answered. Again, I do not own the rights to this music. I do not own the rights to this music. So come on in and join me. Let's rock it out live for a few minutes here. Let me get this shared and then I'm gonna be ready to rock and roll. Y'all know how I do. I just need to try to get these accounts switched over. Let's rock this live out. Come on in. Where you guys at? And as you're checking in, drop in the chat below where you're checking in from. If you're catching this on the replay, hashtag replay for me so I can say hi. So I can tell you guys hi. All right. So I got that share. Boom. All right. So let me get this pause again, and I'll say it again. I do not own the rights to this music. Whoever's on Facebook, drop in the chat below exactly where you're checking in from. All right, so this week I want to talk about a few things, a few basics, but let me, for those who are new to my page and new to me, welcome, welcome, welcome. I am Tawana Bryant Osborne, and my mission is to help service-based professionals, which means my architects, attorneys, therapists, physicians, real estate professionals, engineers, those people that are in service-based industries that you do not have products, okay? My goal is to help you attain sustainable growth with proactive and not reactive accounting and tax planning strategies, right? So while I feel like everybody needs to have tax planning in place, what I'm finding is we don't understand some of the basic things that should be happening in our business, some of the basic information, some of the basic terms that we should know within our business. We don't know them, but we say we're running a business, right? So I am a firm believer that we don't know everything about everything. And the goal or our job is to get you educated, right? So a lot of times we'll come and tell you, okay, you need to get a business started. That'll help you with tax savings. But nobody's explaining this basic stuff to you. You really don't have the time to do all the necessary research and legwork. That's why you need to get you a pro, right? But what happens when you're not in that situation? Then people like me, we go live, we share this information with you so that you can become more knowledgeable in your area, which right now I'm talking to all business owners, okay? So, welcome to this Facebook Live, and we're going to talk about some fundamental accounting and tax concepts for running a business, any business. While I favor the service industry, we're going to talk about any business. Today, we're going to cover those concepts to get you started. If you have not started a business, you're looking to start a business, this information is for you as well. So let's start with the first thing first, your bill. All right. So, what is accounting? It's the process of recording, analyzing, and interpreting financial transactions. That's what we do as accountants, right? Now, there's a distinction, because if you have a tax professional that they're only processing, or they're only filing your taxes, the only thing that we're responsible for is compliance, ensuring that you're compliant, that your taxes are filed with the governing agencies, the IRS, your state, your local. We're only responsible for getting that information that you provide to us. Keywords you provide to us. We're responsible for getting that information filed timely, provided you give us the information timely, right? So if you don't give us that information timely, then you'll get what's called a CP 2000 letter from the IRS that'll say, hey, we're missing some income. So I had the pleasure last night of spending some time with one of my clients, and fortunately, they submitted their tax transcript to me. I'm really considering making this a requirement. She submitted her tax transcript. And when she submitted her tax transcript, she submitted one W-2. Well, a couple of things. Because she's a past client, I knew she had a business, right? And I didn't see any business information. I have my tax organizers, right? All right, click the link in my bio, go grab you a copy of that recording to help you navigate that process. But I knew she had a business, but I didn't see any business information. I have this one W-2 and a tax transcript. So with that information that she provided to me, oh, welcome from St. Louis. But with that information that she provided to me, I see this tax transcript that's 16 pages long. One W-2 was submitted. Well, last night we took some time, and we went through the transcript, because I sent her a message. I said, hey, you missing some documents. She had 1099 Rs, 1099 INTs, 1099 DIVs, 3 or 4 W-2s, 1099 NECs, and I'm giving all these codes. So the 1099-R is actually the tax document when you take retirement income. I see this missed so often. Either you leave a job and you take your retirement money, or you decide to go to school. I need some extra money for something. I need to pay this bill. Whatever it is that you've taken some money out of your retirement income. At the end of the year, you have to report what was taken. Taxes have to be paid on that. Yes, 16 pages. But the thing is, when you take that money in that tax year from January to December, when you take that money out, know that you need to look for a 1099-R. Remember, we've been in COVID. Mail has been crazy. A lot of companies have this in your online portals. A lot of 1099 INTs are not being sent out. A lot of documents, absolutely. I am the money architect. Absolutely. And you sharing that with me. And guys, I'm talking between Facebook and other platforms, okay? But a lot of times these companies are not sending them out, or the mail is slow to come out. But we have to be responsible taxpayers, and we can't blame the tax professional. We can't blame our employer. We have to be responsible and accountable for ourselves as taxpayers to ensure that we have what we need. One way to do that is grab a copy of your tax transcript. Go to irs.gov. Go to, it'll say get my records, or you can put in the search bar tax transcript and get a copy of your transcript. It is a great tool, a great checklist that you can use to determine exactly what it is. And we've gone left, but to determine what it is that you should be submitting to your tax professional or filing if you are self-filing. I recommend a professional. However, I understand there are people who are still filing that feel like I can't afford that. It's tax deductible if you're a business owner. So you can afford it. You just choose not to invest in that. Okay, let's change our terminology and our verbiage a little bit. So along those lines of changing our terminology and our verbiage, what I want to do is really kind of hone in. So accounting is the process of recording, analyzing, and interpreting financial transactions. It helps your business track your financial performance and make informed decisions. So while we're saying we can't afford an accountant, we can't afford or we don't have time to track our income and our expenses, how are you making these decisions in your business if you're not tracking the performance, if the accounting is not happening? All right, so some common accounting terms that you want to think about: assets, liabilities, equity, income, expenses. Now, expenses, let me go left on that a little bit. With your expenses, what may be an expense to you may not be an expense to the IRS. So don't get caught up in wanting to write everything off and then the IRS tells you it's disallowed, and now you're going to pay back plus penalties and interest on that money. Okay, but understanding these terms are essential in preparing financial statements such as your balance sheet and your income statement, and or better known as your profit and loss statement. All right, so we typically ask for that information. We want you to make sure that you're recording that when it happens. So for example, this young lady that I spoke with last night, I knew she had a business. This is from 2021. All right. She don't remember none of this, a lot of this stuff. She hadn't been operating the business within the last year. She doesn't remember a lot of this stuff that she had on here. So that's why it's important to, one, take care of your accounting regularly, but also the other thing is when it comes to your taxes and your expenses, understanding the IRS is going to look at what's ordinary and necessary for your business. How does the IRS know what business you're in? Well, when you file that cute little Schedule C, that Schedule C has what's called an NAICS code. That code tells the IRS what industry you're in. That tells them what expenses and income is ordinary and necessary for that line of business. For example, if you are a real estate agent and you have you're reporting on your real estate Schedule C a fleet of trucks, whatever, box trucks, trucks that you're hauling stuff, flatbeds, whatever, the IRS gonna be like, that don't match, and then they're gonna look and dig into that. So let's keep the audit risk down and let's report what's ordinary and necessary for that specific industry that you're in. Again, if you have those two industries or any separate industries, make sure you're keeping your books and your taxes and everything separate for each industry. Okay. Taxes. That takes me into taxes. These are mandatory payments made by individuals and business owners to the government. So tax laws can be complicated. I know it. I understand it. They change daily, but it's important that you understand at least the basics. Understand when you're having a conversation with your tax professional or your accountant, or when you're looking at these tax organizers that we send out to you, you understand some of the basic things that we're asking you for, because at the end of the day, it's your responsibility as the tax payer. Okay. And I want you to make sure that you're paying attention to what comes in the mail. I'm not going to turn it around because a name is on it, but this is what I do. And I'm a tax pro, right? When taxes come in, and because I've become the secretary of the house, okay, I dump everything in here. So when it's time to file taxes, at least I know where everything is at. What happens is we get our mail, we don't keep up with it. It's here, there, everywhere. So when your tax pro is asking, where's your documents? We don't know where they're at. Keep your documents in a nice, cute little place and know where the file or the folder or whatever it is at. I like paper. If you get one that comes online, create you a folder online on your computer, okay? Now, like I said, I want you to make sure that you understand the basics. And this includes understanding your taxes, your deductions, credits. Understanding these concepts can help you as a business owner save taxes and meet legal requirements. Okay. Now, I'm not an attorney, so I can't talk about legal or what is considered legal or laws as it pertains to that. However, find you a tax attorney or someone that understands business or taxes when it comes to the laws itself. But I can let you know, you got to make sure that you're meeting legal requirements as well as the taxes. Okay. Let's move on to um, budgeting. Let's talk about budgeting. All right. Budgeting is the process of creating a financial plan for your future. So we want to definitely budget so that we have enough money to pay our taxes, right? And that goes into tax planning so that we can minimize that tax liability. But we have to understand some of these basics in order to get there, right? Okay. Um, so when you're budgeting, you're creating a financial plan for the future. You're looking at you're, hey, how are you? You changed your name. Aha. I noticed. Um, but when you're creating a budget, you want to definitely look at setting your goals based on what your earnings are. So when you're working and you're self-employed, sometimes that income is unpredictable, right? So my real estate professionals, the market is up and down. You don't know exactly what it is that you're going to have coming in necessarily. I do know that you'll know because you'll know if you sold a house, right? But you can't necessarily predict that all the time. So you want to make sure that you're budgeting according to typically from future projections and then past data. So you want to look at what it is that you've had happen in the past and budget and make plans to reach those goals. They help you control cost. They increase your profitability and they help you to again make informed decisions. Do y'all see what's happening here when we're talking about budgeting and how accounting and these different things help you make informed decisions, financial decisions within your business? There's no way we can't say we can't afford it. We can't say that we're not willing to invest in an accountant or a tax professional because, again, small business owners, you write that off. But the other side of it is, the other side of it is, let's see. Oh, IG was being mean to you. Well, thank you for joining me over here. The other side of it is we want to make sure that we're being responsible when we're budgeting. Budget for that accountant, budget for that consultation. If you haven't started your business yet, budget for that. All right. Budget so that you can have the most reliable information and a source to tap into. I know for me and my business, I have accountability partners. I have a source to tap into. However, I pay for coaches, right? I need it. If I don't fully understand the back end systems, which is not my area of expertise, if I don't fully understand marketing, these are areas that I'm willing to invest in. The other thing I wanted to tell you about is let's talk about why we should be using a tax professional. They have the expertise and knowledge to ensure that your tax returns are accurate and comply with tax laws. It helps you save time. So, I was talking to one of my accountability partners about this a little while ago. I've gotten back because the tax laws are so crazy right now. Do you have the time when you're doing completing your taxes to go between you completing your taxes on one screen and then looking at another screen to say, what does the law say right now about that? oh, wait a minute, I know that there was a change here. And to look at those resources and to pull up those resources. Someone that I coached a couple years ago, she was telling me, she said, one thing that you taught me to do, if you taught me nothing else, was to research and how to dig that information out. Tax professionals can help you with tax planning. That's beneficial, of course. It helps you with a peace of mind. Sometimes when it comes to the IRS, though, we just never have really a peace of mind. Uh, uh, I when I get the letter, and I got a letter one time just telling me that I had made a payment. I was like, "What's the IRS writing me for?" Kind of side eyeing, right? Um, but again, I still, I know it's supposed to give you a peace of mind, but you have some level of peace when it comes to using a tax professional. And then bookkeeping. Bookkeeping helps you with the accuracy in your financial reporting. If you're not doing your books regularly, I recommend weekly, monthly, daily if you can. Um, it helps you ensure that those records are accurate and up to date. You just like with tax season, you don't remember all the time what it was. Okay, me and three people went out to dinner. You don't remember what you talked about unless you're actively putting that information in, putting it in the notes. It helps improve your tax compliance, and it increases your efficiency, and it gives you a better financial analysis, right? And of course, here we go again. It improves the decision making in your business. So I know I could go on forever with this, but there were just a few things I wanted to touch on because, like I said, I've been seeing this happen with business owners where we don't understand basic elements of our business or even understanding who the professionals are, what they do. What does it mean that I use a tax professional? What is their responsibility to me, right? Um, we're here to ensure that you're compliant. However, we function a lot better than, let's say, the tax software that's out there, because if you put information into TurboTax, it's going to spit out just what you give it. However, if you're talking to me and you're saying, and I'm asking you, did you have this? Or I see something, just like I saw her tax transcript, and I'm like, whoa, 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 it's 16 pages long. Where's the rest of her documents? TurboTax ain't gonna ask you that. TurboTax is not gonna care less whether or not you got additional documents. You put in one, you get out the reporting for one, and then you get that CP 2000 notice, right? So again, I don't like to keep you on here long. So just to wrap it up, accounting and taxes are essential components of your business success, right? Understanding the basics of your accounting, your taxation, your bookkeeping, your budgeting, that helps you make informed decisions in your business and achieve financial success. You can't do it, or you can do it, but it's not sustainable. So I won't say you can't do it. You can do it, but it's not sustainable long term for your business. And we don't go into business to get out of business. We go into business to stay in business and to be successful, and hopefully either one day sell the business, pass it down to our children, whatever it is that we choose to do in our succession plan. um, we want to make sure that you're successful in your finances. I want to thank everyone that joined me today. If you have any questions, drop them in the chat for me really, really quick. Again, I don't like to be on here long just because I don't want anyone to feel like, oh, she's going to come with this long, dragged out information. I'll do some trainings for that. And if you want me to do some trainings, of course, if you don't feel comfortable putting it down in the chat, DM me and say, hey, Tawana, I had some questions about A, B, and C. But also look at the link in my bio. See when I have trainings out there. I know the self-employed taxes are coming due April 18th. So I'll probably do a self-employed tax secrets masterclass once, because I hadn't done it this year. I'll get one in within the next couple of weeks. So you'll see me posting about that here soon. But I want to, if you don't have any questions, let me check over here. If you don't have any questions, I want to thank you for joining me on this live today. I appreciate you. I appreciate you guys for interacting with me. I love it. I love it. I love it. Hey, Kay. Hey, girl. Hey. But I want to thank you for joining me today, and I hope that you found this information informative and helpful. Again, if you have any questions, drop it down below because somebody else may have the same question. They're just not bold enough to ask, or they're not comfortable with asking. Again, if you're just absolutely not comfortable with that, hit me in the DMs, all right? And let's talk about it. All right. Well, until next Tax Talk Tuesday, y'all know I've been suffering with allergies. I get allergy tested next Tuesday. Woo-hoo. Hopefully they can do something about all this stuff here. But I will see you guys next Tuesday, 6 p.m. right back here on Facebook, IG, YouTube, and come and join me. I love to see you there. All right, guys, you have a great evening, and I will see you next week. Good night.